Here's how my weird marble game looks so far. Now, considering I'm using gamemaker, you're probably wondering how I actually got here. First, the walls. The process is actually very simple. We simply start with two objects. Our cursor, which is the plus sign, is essentially the center of our camera, and the white square is the wall. We start by drawing a line from the cursor to the center of the square. We then extend the line by the same length. Then, draw a second blue square at the end of the line, which is twice the size of the first red one. Using the corners of these squares, we can get our vertices which make up this 3D block. Finally, all we have to do is fill in the sides. This can be done by filling in the trapezoids using the corners of the top and bottom edges of a side. Like this. Here's a live demonstration in GameMaker. Crap. Well, no matter. We can avoid this simply by drawing the side only when it is visible to the player, which can be done by checking if the player is on the left side of this line, and we apply that to each side. Now, onto giving this a texture so it actually looks good. Great, now we can move on to... Wait, how can you actually do this? You may have seen a peculiar looking function called Draw Sprite Pos, but if you ever tried it, you probably know how it looks, and it looks a bit funky. There is apparently a fixed version of this function already made by someone, but where's the fun in using that? So I made my own function, as one does, which allows you to draw a sprite in the shape of a trapezoid. I'm not going into too much detail on this one, as it's quite confusing and I came up with it while I was bored in a class. But essentially, what you do is create a for loop that draws each line of the sprites using a function called Draw Sprite Parts, scaling them from the size of the base to the size of the top, and drawing them along the red line. And in this for loop, we can set the color to be somewhere between the top and bottom colors. As you can see, it looks nice. But if you add more walls, yep, that's an issue, but a simple one. Both for optimization and to fix this issue, we only draw the wall objects that are inside the circle around the player. GameMaker allows you to get all of these objects into a list and sorts them from closest to farthest. We then draw each wall in this list in a reverse order. This means that only a limited number of walls will be drawn and that they'll be drawn correctly, not overlapping each other. And there you go, that's how the walls work. If I ever make a second video on this game, it'll probably be about how the lighting works or how the ball animation is done. Or maybe something that's actually interesting.